Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to my channel. I'm Gift Time by name if you're stopping by for the first time, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you for your support. So today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to achieve this opening at the front bodice of this dress. Kindly stay tuned. First of all, I'm going to be drafting the front bodice, and this is the standard measurement I always use for kits, and it works for me perfectly. So I'll be folding my pattern paper into two. Next, I'm going to draw my starting line, and then I'll be imputing my shoulder measurements. This pattern is for a 4-year-old. So my shoulder, I'm using 10 inches. 10 divided by 2, which is 5. So that's what I indicated over there. Next, I'm going to be taking my neck width. I'll be using 3 inches for my neck width, and I'll be using 2.5 inches for my neck depth. So I'll be connecting those 2 points with my curve rule. This will give me a U-shaped neckline. Next, I'm going to be taking 1/2 inch downwards from that my shoulder points. I'll be connecting it to my neckline. This will give me my shoulder slant because shoulders are not straight. A little bit slant, so that is the essence of this. Next, I'm going to be taking my armhole length. My armhole length, I'll be using 5.5 inches for it. So I'm going to connect it with a straight rule, and then after doing that, I'm also going to extend the line to be able to add in my bust measurements. This is the line I'm referring to. Next, I'll be taking the midpoint of my armhole depth, that is that 5.5 inches I took earlier. I'm going to get the midpoint, and then I'm indicating it over there. Next, I'm going to connect it upwards. So I went inward by a little bit of 1/2 inch. So because this is for a child, for an adult I will use 1/2 inch. So I'm taking my bust measurement right there so that I'll be able to connect it with a curve. Next, I'll be taking my bodice measurement, and I'll be using 10 inches for a 4-year-old. So I'm going to connect the line in a horizontal manner, as you can see me doing. Next, I'll be imputing my waist measurements. So that's what I'm doing, and then I'll be connecting those two lines together. So this is basic bodice for a child, but this is for a 4-year-old. So I'll be cutting it out. So from this part, we're going to manipulate our pattern to get those openings in front. So this is it when it's open up, but I'll be closing it up, as you can see. So from that center front, I'm going to go downwards by 2.5 inches. I want to get the yoke part of this. So that midpoint we took from the armhole, I'm going to connect it to this 2.5 inches with like a sweetheart neckline. But first of all, I'm going to take 1/2 inch away, as you can see me doing from the video. So from that 1/2 inch, that is when I'm going to connect it to that midpoint of the armhole using my curve rule to give me a sweetheart neckline. So this part is our bodice, this other part is the yoke. So from that yoke part, from the armhole, I'm going to go down by 1.5 inches. So next, from that point, I'm going to connect it with another curve. But first of all, I'm going to extend this 1/2 inch, this part. I'm going to extend it upwards with a straight rule. Then from there, I'm going to curve it to this other part. So the video explains much better. So this is how the drafting of my pattern looks like. and that part will be the opening. So I'll be cutting it out. First of all, I'm going to cut off the sweetheart neckline, meaning I'm going to have the yoke aside. So that is the main body. So this yoke part, I'm going to cut off this part. So this part is where the opening would be. So this is the bodice for with the sweetheart neckline, and this is the yoke part. So by the time you place it on top, you have the opening at the two side. So this is how the front pattern looks like. So I'll also cut the same thing for the lining and properly attach them to have a good finishing. So next I'll be drafting the back bodice. So this is my pattern paper, and I'm going to first of all draw out my 1 inch for the zipper parts. So this pattern paper, I already cut it to the measurement. Is 10 inches for the bodice. So this is it. So this is my zipper part. Next, I'm going to be imputing my shoulder measurements, starting from that zipper part line, not from the edge. So I already took my 5 inches. Next, I'm going to be taking my neck width. Your neck width ought to be the same. So I use 3 inches. But for the neck depth, I'll be using 1 inch for my neck depth for that of the back. And I'm going to curve it with my curve rule to give me also a round shape neckline. I will also extend it to my zipper parts. Next, I'll be taking my shoulder slants by coming down by 1/2 inch and then connect it to my neckline, the same way I did for the front bodies. So after that, I'm going to be taking my armhole depth, which is 5.5 inches. So I'm going to also draw the line and extend it the same way I did for that of the front as well. Next, I'm going to take my bust measurements, and all my measurements, I took it from that zipper line. I didn't add the zipper allowance. So next, I took my midpoint of my armhole depth. So from that midpoint, I'm going to curve it to that my bust measurement. Because this is for the back part, you don't have to go inward from that midpoint the same way we did for the front. So like I said earlier, this pattern paper, I already cut it to my body's length, which is 10 inches. So what I'm doing over there at the down part, I'm taking my waist measurements. So sorry it was not captured properly. So I'm extending the line. So next, I'm going to cut it off. So this is our back pattern, and I'm going to also be imputing the opening at the back because I'll be adding a button, and also there'll be opening at the back. So from that midpoint from the armhole, I'm going to draw a straight line to also have a yoke part. So the down part will be the main bodies, while the upper part will be the yoke part. So from the neckline, I'm going to go down by 1 inch. This will serve for my button input. I'll be putting only one button for this back bodice. So from that point, I'm going to connect it with a curve rule to that midpoint of the armhole to give me a curve at the back and also an opening at the back part. So this will serve as the opening for the back parts. Next, I'm going to cut it off. So this other part is the bodice while I'm cutting the yoke. So we don't need this part, so I'm taking it off. So I'm going to place the other part of the back part for you to see. So this is the other part, and this is how my back pattern is. This is the zipper part, and this is the opening I created, and this is where I'm going to be putting my button. So at the end, I'm going to add my allowances at the down part and at the sides, and I'm going to attach it with a cap sleeve. If you've watched this far, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Bye.